Today we're going to show you how to measure a moulded stave brush. Obviously using this video as a tool, but supporting the main document being your custom design form. So your moulded stave brush, firstly your characteristics. So by stave we mean flat brush. So flat, bristles coming up like a block. Moulded is the form that it's actually made in. So this urethane block, it is actually a liquid when it comes out of the machine, and it's set into a mould. It takes, approximately a quarter of an hour to set, half an hour depending on the weather, till it goes hard. And then once it goes hard, you've got a product like this. So nice hard product that can hold virtually any size bristle in any configuration. Once this is made, it can be cut, or it can be reduced to size, as you can see here. Actually, this is a pretty good photo or good angle, because you can actually see where the bundle of bristles were, and the way that the liquid molds its way around the bundles and really secures the bristles in place. So key measurements you're going to need for this brush, I feel that we start with the base. So we always start length in this case, in this section, 72 millimeters wide. Width, so you got your width 34.8, so 35 mil wide, and your height. So height wise, we're looking at 28.26 millimeter. Your length and width won't really vary because of the mold. The height can vary, so you can't be to the millimeter. I must stress that. The reason being, because of this liquid, when it sets, it actually shrinks. So you might pour it at a particular level, and there's a lot of circumstances, but depending on the, let's just put it to the day, you might get variance of 2 to 5 mil in the shrinkage, and that's pending that the surface that you're pouring it on is perfectly 100% level. And let's be honest, we don't live in the perfect world, so we've got to allow for small variances like that. Okay, so we start with the base. We've got the base size, we've got the bristle configuration. So this way we're looking at it down the brush, you're seeing single row. There's no other rows of bristles on either side, you're seeing a single row. If you look at it that way, it's still a single row because there's nothing behind. So let's go along the brush when we talk about it. Single row, just take a brief measurement of your bundle size, which is 17.5 mil. That can vary as well, but it's not critical. The bristle that we use, we take note on whether it's crimped or wavy. So if you can make that out there on the video, hopefully you can. In these circumstances, it's crimped wavy bristle rather than straight or flat. I'm going to take a measurement on the width, the diameter of the bristle, so 1.46, and I feel like I've taken a measurement on the widest part of the bristle. So I'm going to turn it 90 degrees and take another measurement. So basically 1.0. So that means that the bristle is oval in shape, which is not uncommon. It's actually probably more, you'd see more oval shaped bristles than not these days. And that's due to manufacture of extrusion and also the way the machines take them. So we've established that this is the particular size of the bristle. I feel, and I know through experience, that this is nylon. We'll explain to you, we'll give you instructions on how to determine the difference between synthetic materials like poly, being polypropylene, polyethylene, nylon, polyester, and so forth. So this is nylon. In the measurement we took, I've got to take measurement on the length of the bristle, or also known as the trim length. which is 235 millimeters, but also taking note, sorry to move this around so much, but taking note on the total height of the brush, because we obviously can't see what bristles inside, so we need to be able to provide you with the right height. I'm looking at this now and I'm seeing 260 millimeters. So 260 millimeters is your overall height, remembering that depending on the thickness of your base, you confirm the trim length to the actual bristle length, 230. So that all marries up with what we see there. Virtually, there's a number of different width in molds that you can have, which opens up, you know, the possibility of inserting a second row, whether they're straight in line or staggered. So there's no well, the gap in there is very minimal as it is, but it'll show no gap whatsoever. Still not sure if you can see anything there, but it is what it is. But imagine just an offset row, just here, or you know, we've got molds up to maybe 150 mil wide. So depending on the job, will dictate, or depending on the brush to be replaced, that'll dictate what size mold we use and how many rows of bundles you can get in there. Probably the key with this form of block brush or stave brush is that you can fit any bristle in this, so any thickness, any length. All it's got to do is be able to sit inside that liquid resin before it sets, and you've got a brush. So similar type of brush or method of construction is used when making, for example, the steeplechase horse racing brushes that are used actually in racing, previously by VRC and internationally. They obviously carry a very, very heavy bristle, much heavier than this and much longer. There'd be no other possible way that anyone in Australia could make it with the capability of machinery that we have. With industrial brushware obviously being a leader, we've pioneered and explored, but found our way back to this style for those heavy duty sort of applications, being, you know, steeplechase brushes, caravan brushes. Something like this would connect to your caravan or to your car at the back and go to the ground to stop stones flicking to your caravan. But there's a number of applications it can be used on. It can be utilised extremely well if you know what you're talking about, but to get the accurate quote, follow the custom design form and also the information given to you here, and I feel that you can't go wrong.